Joining us today is the Secretary of the Department of Information and Communications Technology, Henry Aguda. Good to have you on, Secretary Henry. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Kathy, and to your listeners, Happy Heroes Day.
Happy Heroes Day indeed, and congratulations. I know that you've advocated for the passage of what is now a law. So what exactly is its significance? Why should people care?
Well, magandang usapin yan kasi I heard si Attorney Ibay talk about privileges, di ba? So let's take the conversation out of the narrative of privileges of the telco and discuss the rights of the normal Filipino consumer based on Konektadong Pinoy. So, Konektadong Pinoy's objective is universal connectivity for the country and affordability. With Konektadong Pinoy, well, all Filipinos now will have rights in terms of affordable and effective connectivity. I think that's where the conversation should move to.
Indeed, of course, yung ordinaryong Pilipino from remote learners to MSMEs and even to the business process outsourcing businesses expecting faster, cheaper, and more reliable internet because of this law. So, kailan po natin mararanasan ang epekto nitong bagong batas?
Yeah, so first things first would be the IRR. And even before the passage of the Konektadong Pinoy, DICT and NTC have already started our legal work to ensure that when we draft the IRR, all stakeholders are involved. And I personally reach out to the large telcos, their CEOs, and the chamber that they're welcome to participate in the IRR. I think some of them have already expressed intention to participate. Those who still require explanation from me, my line is open, my office is open, and I'm willing to sit down with them. So, una-muna IRR, then full blast tayo sa implementation. The objective of the President is before the end of 2028, lahat dapat ng Pilipino, kahit isang sulok ng Pilipinas, meron ng affordable internet connectivity.
Sino-sino na po yung mga nagpunta sa inyo at nagsabing they will take part in the IRR?
One is Converge. They're very direct in saying that once the President already allows it to become law, they will support the IRR. I think in the press releases of PLDT, they will participate actively in the IRR. Si Globe, nakausap ko rin, may mga tanong pa sila and I've offered my time and my team's expertise to sit down with them to address their concerns.
Ano po yung concern?
Usual, yung issue sa cybersecurity. And yun nga sinusubukan kong intindihin kung saan sila nanggagaling. Kasi lahat naman ng telco ngayon susunod sa minimum standard ng gobyerno. Tapos yung mga bagong papasok, susunod din. But the Konektado Pinoy implements another layer of cybersecurity protection, which is in 2 years' time, all of them, new or old, should have international cybersecurity certification. So it actually strengthens cybersecurity. And part of the rights of the internet users is to be assured of cybersecurity protection. So medyo doon ako, I'm also baffled. Ano yung problema sa cybersecurity when the law strengthens that aspect of the industry?
Doon po sa issue ng CPCN, doon sa franchise, the palace stated that the new law allows new data transmission providers to operate without a legislative franchise. Ito po yung tinatawag na CPCN or Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity. The reason why it's drawn opposition from the major industry groups, ito nga po yung PCTO, PAPTELCO. So how can the government ensure then responsible oversight, quality, and security na rin while welcoming the new entrants?
Well, one is strict implementation of the DICT and NTC laws. Hindi lang sa amin yan. Marami dyan yung Foreign Investment Act. And there are several laws that already ensures na if government follows it, it will be protected. So, nandun po yun, and we can explain that. Now, second, in order for them to be assured, they have a seat at the table in crafting the IRR. So yung mga tingin nila na dapat nasa IRR and dapat ginagawa ng DICT and NTC, they can pull us out if we don't follow. Ang maganda kasi nito, nandiyan na yung batas. It's already been passed by Senate and Congress and already allowed into law by the executive. Then let's work together to make it work. Yun lang yung guarantee ko. If they work with us, we will also hear out their concerns and come up with a harmonious solution.
So, sino-sino po yung mga stakeholders? Na-mention na natin yung mga telco providers, pero meron ba mga new players na isasama at sasama dyan sa pag-craft ng IRR?
Well, new players, they are welcome to submit their white paper. And I receive white paper left and right. But I think it is just naman appropriate na kung sino yung current operating telcos, they have a stronger say and participation. Kasi apektado yung negosyo nila eh. So, if you're asking me, meron na bang foreign telco na nag-express ng interest to help out in the IRR? Meron, but they're limited to submitting their white paper and we'll do public hearing. So, pag public hearing naman, everybody's allowed to participate.
Can you name one or two of the new players, sir?
Well, there's Starlink. Hindi na naman iba yan. Dahil Starlink operates in the country right now. Even without Konektadong Pinoy, just for everyone's appreciation. They're operating. And their suggestion is, how do we accelerate connectivity in the country? So, anyone naman na may recommendation on how to make internet more affordable and better are welcome to participate in the discussion.
And key to that is infrastructure sharing. Isa sa mga concerns din, how will the DICT facilitate infrastructure sharing as mandated by law? Ano pong mga incentives o mga penalties in place to ensure compliance by major telcos? At kasama na rin doon yung real estate developers and landlords.
So infrastructure sharing is also, it has to be fair and reasonable arrangement. Hindi naman yan confiscatory eh. The law doesn't contemplate government coming in and getting or expropriating infrastructure. Hindi po yon. Ang nasa batas is, pag may reasonable basis to share infrastructure, dapat naman the regulator can come in and assess. Hindi pwedeng meron kang infrastructure, hindi mo papagamit sa iba, when allowing it to be used by others allows more people to be connected. So how do we ensure that it's fair and reasonable? Again, it's in the IRR. And second, everything will be made transparent. One of the things that the ICT and NTC has done is to make all of our transactions transparent to the public. So if the public sees na medyo unfair yung treatment ng the ICT, they can complain and they can call us out.
I'll pick up on transparency, sir, kasi nga yung hesitancy coming from the telco providers, for instance, comes from what those in opposition say is now a law, yung Konektadong Pinoy Act, that the industry was not consulted of the changes made at the BICAM level. Is this true?
I cannot speak for the Senate and Congress, but from my understanding, this law naman hindi bago eh. It has been deliberated and discussed on for years. On the BICAM, I was told that invitations went out. Now, siguro ang magandang sabihin na lang ng mga telco is they be specific. What hearing or what session were they specifically excluded? Kasi I think yung mga BICAM sessions naman, alam naman natin kung kailan ang schedule eh. And people who want to participate can participate. So on transparency naman, Cathy, I offer this to the telcos. They can come to me, come to my office, and we'll be very, very transparent. Ngayon kasi I talk to them individually eh. And I've already asked them, if you have a common position, usap tayo. mas maganda kung nag-uusap tayo ng in a transparent manner ba, harapan tayo. Then, babalang kasi natin ano yung problema at hanapan natin ng solusyon.
Okay, that's loud and clear coming from the Secretary himself. Salamat po for making the time on this national holiday. Secretary Henry Aguda of the DICT.
Thank you, Kathy.